Have you ever walked into a room and felt as though everyone already knew your secret, except you? Because that's exactly what happened to Luna Hart. The moment she stepped inside Blackwood Academy, every conversation stopped. Every eye followed her. And somewhere deep in the forest surrounding the campus, wolves began to howl. She didn't know why. She only knew one thing. Her life would never be the same again. Luna had spent 19 years believing she was ordinary. She lived in foster homes, moved from town to town, never staying anywhere long enough to make friends. Her childhood memories were strangely empty, ending before her 12th birthday as though someone had erased them. Doctors blamed trauma, psychologists called it repression, but every full moon proved they were wrong. Every month, Luna dreamed of silver wolves running through ancient forests. She heard voices calling her name in a language she'd never learned. She always woke with the same burning sensation on her wrist. Yet every morning, the mark disappeared. By sunrise, it was gone. When the acceptance letter from Blackwood Academy arrived, Luna thought fate had finally smiled on her. The school was famous for its elite science program. Hidden deep within the mountains, surrounded by endless pine forests, Blackwood accepted only the brightest students. She had earned a full scholarship. For the first time in years, she felt hopeful. The academy looked more like a castle than a university. Ancient stone towers reached into the mist, ivy-covered walls that seemed older than history itself. Strange gargoyle statues watched every student who entered through the iron gates. The moment Luna crossed the entrance, a freezing wind swept across the courtyard. The enormous bronze bell above the main tower rang 13 times. Students froze. One whispered nervously, "That bell never rings by itself." Another made the sign of the crescent moon across his chest. Luna simply laughed. What an odd tradition. She had no idea. The academy wasn't welcoming a new student. It was warning everyone that destiny had arrived. During orientation, something even stranger happened. While the headmaster spoke about rules and academic excellence, every student suddenly looked toward the giant windows. Outside, hundreds of ravens had gathered, silently, watching. Not flying, not moving, just watching Luna. The headmaster's face paled for only a second before he forced a smile. "Please remain calm." No one looked calm. Her roommate, Maya, noticed Luna staring. "Don't worry," Maya whispered. "Blackwood is weird." Luna smiled. "Weird how?" Maya hesitated. "You'll see." In the next morning, students rushed through the stone corridors toward their first lecture. Everyone seemed unusually nervous. Groups whispered among themselves. Some checked their watches every few seconds. Others stood perfectly still, almost afraid. Luna stopped another student. "Is there an exam today?" The girl looked horrified. "No." "Then what's everyone scared of?" The girl lowered her voice. "Professor Kael." Before Luna could ask another question, the classroom doors opened. Silence, complete silence. Even the air seemed heavier. A tall man walked inside, dark hair, sharp jaw, broad shoulders beneath a perfectly tailored black suit. His eyes, they weren't brown. They shimmered gold, not like sunlight, like molten fire. He carried no books, no laptop, only a single leather notebook. He walked slowly to the front of the room. Every student lowered their eyes. No one dared speak. "My name is Professor Kael Ashford." His voice was calm, cold, commanding. "I teach ancient mythology." Luna almost laughed. Ancient mythology? At a science university? That made no sense. Then Professor Kael looked directly at her. For one brief second, his expression changed. Confusion, shock, fear. Gone almost instantly. He continued the lecture as though nothing had happened. but Luna couldn't shake the feeling that he'd recognized her. Halfway through class, Professor Kael began handing back entrance essays. When he reached Luna, their fingers touched. Time stopped. A pulse of silver light exploded between them. Every light bulb shattered. Windows trembled. The walls groaned. Luna gasped as searing pain shot through her wrist. She looked down. A glowing silver crescent surrounded by intricate runes appeared beneath her skin. Students jumped to their feet. One screamed. Another dropped to his knees. Professor Kael stared at the mark. His face had gone completely pale. He whispered one word. No. The classroom erupted. The moon mark. It can't be. She's alive. Luna looked around in confusion. What are you talking about? No one answered, because every student was staring at Professor Kael. Not in fear, in expectation. Slowly, very slowly. His glowing golden eyes transformed into brilliant amber. For just a heartbeat, two massive shadows appeared behind him, the shadow of a man and the shadow of an enormous wolf. Then everything disappeared. Professor Kael took one step backward. His voice was barely audible. Class dismissed. Nobody moved. Now! Students rushed from the room in panic. Within seconds, only Luna and Professor Kael remained. She held up her glowing wrist. Tell me what this is. Kael didn't answer immediately. Instead, he walked toward the classroom window. Outside, the forest had gone silent. No birds, no wind, nothing. Finally, without turning around, he spoke. If they've marked you. His voice trembled for the first time. Then they're already coming. Luna frowned. Who's coming? Kael slowly faced her. His golden eyes no longer looked like a professor's. They looked like a predator's. The monsters who have spent 19 years searching for you. At that exact moment, a deafening wolf howl echoed from somewhere deep within Blackwood Forest. Then another, until the entire mountain shook beneath their cries. To be continued. Chapter 2. The Alpha's Secret. The howl echoed through Blackwood Academy like a warning from another world. Students poured into the corridors, whispering in frightened voices. Some hurried toward the dormitories. Others ran in the opposite direction, as if escaping an invisible threat. Luna stood frozen inside the empty classroom, her heart pounding against her ribs. Professor Kael's eyes never left the glowing crescent on her wrist. It pulsed with silver light, growing brighter every few seconds. You need to leave, he said quietly. Luna crossed her arms. I'm tired of everyone talking in riddles. I deserve answers. Kael sighed. You deserve the truth. He walked toward the classroom door and locked it with an old iron key. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a strange silver coin engraved with the image of a wolf. As he pressed it against the wall, ancient runes ignited around the room. A shimmering barrier surrounded them. No one can hear us now. Luna stared in disbelief. What was that? Protection magic. She laughed nervously. Magic doesn't exist. Kael looked at her with pity. That's exactly what someone wanted you to believe. He opened the leather notebook he always carried. Inside wasn't a lesson plan. It was filled with sketches of creatures, towering wolves, horned beasts, winged serpents, and ancient castles hidden beneath forests. One drawing caught Luna's attention immediately. A young woman stood beneath a full moon. On her wrist, the exact same silver mark glowed. Who is she? Kael hesitated. Her name was Queen Selene, the last moon queen. Luna frowned. She looks like you. The resemblance was impossible to ignore. The same eyes, the same hair, even the same small birthmark beneath her left eye. But she died nearly 20 years ago. Luna's breathing became uneven. That's impossible. So is everything else you've seen today. Kael closed the book. For centuries, humans believed werewolves were myths. The truth is, we let them believe that. Luna stared at him. You expect me to believe you're a werewolf? Instead of answering, Kael rolled up his sleeve. Long scars covered his forearm. Fresh scars, old scars, scars no ordinary animal could leave. Every scar tells the story of a battle. Every battle was fought to keep our world hidden from yours. He stepped closer. Because if humans ever discovered us, they would destroy us. A loud knock interrupted them. 3 sharp knocks, then silence. Kael's expression hardened. They're early. Who? He didn't answer. Instead, he opened the door. Standing outside were 3 students dressed in black uniforms unlike anyone else at the academy. Their silver badges displayed a wolf's head beneath a crescent moon. The tallest bowed respectfully. Alpha. Luna blinked. Alpha? The student continued. The council requests your presence. Kael didn't move. I'm busy. The student glanced toward Luna. His face turned pale. He immediately lowered his eyes. So, the rumors are true. Another student whispered nervously. The moon air has returned. Kael stepped into the hallway and shut the door behind him. Luna couldn't hear every word. Only fragments. Too dangerous. The Bloodfang clan. They've crossed the border. Before the eclipse. A chill crawled down her spine. Bloodfang? Border? Eclipse? None of it made sense, yet somehow it all felt strangely familiar. Minutes later, Kael returned. His face was grim. You can't stay in the dormitory tonight. Why? They know where you are. Who knows? He looked directly into her eyes. The people who murdered your family. The words hit harder than any physical blow. My family died in a car accident. Kael slowly shook his head. No. They were hunted. Before Luna could respond, the lights flickered. The magical barrier surrounding the room cracked like shattered glass. Kael spun toward the window. Something was watching them from outside. 2 glowing red eyes floated between the trees. Then 4. Then 8. Then dozens. Every pair stared directly at Luna. Her pulse quickened. What are those? Kael's voice became ice cold. Rogues. Wolves without a pack. Without warning, every classroom window exploded inward. Glass rained across the floor. A black creature twice the size of a wolf leaped into the room. Its fur was covered in dark spikes. Its eyes burned crimson. Its jaws dripped black saliva that hissed wherever it touched the floor. Luna screamed. The creature lunged. But before it could reach her, Kael moved. His bones cracked with sickening force. His shoulders broadened. His muscles expanded beneath his shirt. Golden light burst from his skin. Within seconds, the man standing before Luna was gone. In his place stood an enormous black wolf, nearly 8 feet tall. His amber eyes glowed like fire. The beast let out a thunderous roar. The entire academy trembled. Outside, every rogue wolf whimpered. Some even backed away. The alpha had revealed himself. The monstrous rogue attacked first. Its claws sliced through the air. Kael dodged effortlessly. With one powerful swipe, he sent the creature crashing through 3 rows of desks. The room shook violently. The rogue recovered and charged again. This time, Kael caught it by the throat. With terrifying strength, he slammed it into the stone floor. The tiles shattered beneath the impact. The rogue howled in agony. But then, something impossible happened. The creature laughed. Its crimson eyes locked onto Luna. We found her. It coughed black blood before grinning. The Shadow King will rise. Then its entire body dissolved into black smoke. Silence returned. Kael transformed back into human form, breathing heavily. A deep wound stretched across his shoulder, blood soaking through his shirt. Luna rushed toward him. "You're hurt." "It's nothing." "It doesn't look like nothing." He smiled weakly. "It'll heal." She stared at the wound. Right before her eyes, the torn flesh slowly began knitting itself back together. Within seconds, only a scar remained. Luna could barely breathe. "Werewolves. They're real." Kael nodded. "Yes. And tonight..." He looked toward the shattered window where the moon hung high above Blackwood Forest. The entire supernatural world just learned that the Moon Princess is alive. Far beyond the academy walls, hidden in the darkness, a pair of ancient golden eyes slowly opened. A deep voice echoed through the shadows. "So, after 19 years, I've finally found my daughter." End of Chapter 2. Chapter 3. The Forbidden Bond. The Academy's emergency bells rang through the night, not once, not twice, but 7 times. The sound echoed across Blackwood Forest, carrying a message only the supernatural could understand. The Moon Princess has returned. Luna couldn't take her eyes off Professor Kael. Only moments ago, she had watched him transform into a giant black wolf. She had watched him fight a creature that shouldn't exist. She had watched wounds heal before her very eyes. Everything she believed about the world had shattered. "Tell me this is a dream," she whispered. Kael picked up his torn jacket and slipped it over his blood-stained shirt. "I wish it were." He walked toward the broken classroom window. "The rogues won't stop now. They've already scented your blood." Luna looked at him in confusion. "My blood?" Kael nodded. "The moon bloodline carries an ancient scent. Every alpha, every witch, every dark creature, they'll all be hunting you." Before Luna could ask another question, the classroom door burst open. Headmaster Aldrich strode inside, accompanied by 6 warriors dressed in silver armor. Unlike ordinary guards, each carried a long spear carved from white ash wood. The old man's face was grim. "It has begun." Kael nodded once. "They attacked sooner than expected." The headmaster turned toward Luna. "My child, I owe you an apology. For 19 years, we lied to you." Luna clenched her fists. "So everyone knows who I am except me?" The headmaster lowered his head. "We were trying to keep you alive. You erased my past. We hid it. You watched me grow up in foster homes. We had no choice." Luna's eyes filled with tears. "You let me believe nobody wanted me." Silence filled the room. No one had an answer. Finally, Kael spoke. "I wanted to tell you, but the council forbade it." Luna looked at him. "You knew me all this time?" "I found you 17 years ago." The words hit like lightning. "What?" "You were 2 years old. I watched over you from a distance. I made sure every foster family was safe. I stopped those who came looking for you. You..." Her voice cracked. "You've been protecting me my entire life?" Kael couldn't meet her eyes. "Yes." For the first time since arriving at Blackwood, Luna realized she had never been alone. Every strange feeling, every near accident she somehow survived, every shadow that disappeared when she looked twice, someone had always been there, watching, protecting, waiting. A loud rumble shook the academy. Dust drifted from the ceiling. One of the guards rushed to the headmaster. "They've reached the northern gate." Another entered moments later. "The eastern barrier has fallen." Then another. "More rogues are crossing the river." Kael's expression darkened. "They're testing our defenses." "No." The headmaster stared toward the moon. "They're distracting us." Suddenly, Every candle inside the classroom went out. Darkness swallowed the room. A freezing wind swept across the floor. Then a voice echoed from nowhere, soft, cold, ancient. "Little moon." Luna froze. She knew that voice. She had heard it in her dreams. "Come home." The whisper came again. "I've waited so long." Luna took an involuntary step toward the window. Kael grabbed her wrist. "Don't listen." "But that isn't your mother. It's using her voice." The darkness thickened until it became smoke. The smoke twisted into the shape of a woman. She wore a silver crown. Long white hair flowed around her like mist. Her face looked exactly like Luna's. Tears filled Luna's eyes. "Mom?" The woman smiled sadly. "My sweet daughter, I've missed you." Luna reached forward. Kael stepped between them. "You're not Queen Selene." The woman smiled wider. "No." Her face melted, skin blackened, eyes turned crimson. A monstrous grin stretched across her face. "But I devoured her." The creature lunged. One of the silver guards threw his spear. The weapon pierced the creature's chest. Instead of bleeding, it exploded into a cloud of ravens. The birds burst through every broken window and vanished into the forest. Kael cursed under his breath. "The Shadow Court. They've entered Blackwood." The headmaster looked terrified. "Then the prophecy has already begun." Luna had heard enough. No more secrets. What prophecy? The headmaster hesitated. Kael answered instead. "When the Moon Princess returns, the Shadow King will awaken. The world will choose between light and eternal night." Luna laughed bitterly. "You're telling me the fate of the world depends on me?" "No," Kael said quietly. "It depends on who claims you first." The room fell silent. Luna blinked. "Claims me?" Kael looked away. "In our world, the moon mark isn't just a symbol. It's a bond. It connects souls." She frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means..." Kael's voice grew almost inaudible. "The mark has already chosen your alpha." Her heart skipped. "And who is that?" Kael remained silent. The headmaster answered for him. "You." Luna looked between them. "What?" "The mark chose Professor Kael." The words hung heavily in the air. Impossible. Ridiculous. He was her professor, the man who had protected her from the shadows, a man nearly 10 years older than her. "No," she whispered. Kael closed his eyes. "I fought it. For years. I begged the moon goddess to choose someone else, but the bond cannot be broken." Before Luna could process the revelation, a deafening explosion shook the academy. The entire north wall collapsed. Students screamed. The sound of claws scraping stone echoed through the halls. One guard ran into the room, covered in blood. "They're inside." Behind him, a massive silver wolf walked calmly through the smoke. Unlike the rogue wolves, this one was beautiful. Its silver fur shimmered beneath the moonlight. Its icy blue eyes were filled with intelligence. The beast transformed into a man dressed in a white coat. He smiled warmly. Luna. She had never seen him before, yet something inside her recognized him instantly. "My daughter." The room went deathly still. Kael stepped forward, placing himself between the stranger and Luna. "You shouldn't have come here." The man ignored him. Instead, he looked only at Luna. "I've searched for you every day since the night you disappeared." Tears filled his eyes. "I am King Orion, the Alpha King of the Northern Realm, and..." He swallowed hard. "Your father." Luna's entire world tilted. Before she could answer, Kael growled, a deep primal growl that shook every window. "Don't believe a single word he says." King Orion smiled. "Still protecting her, Kael? You always were loyal." Kael's amber eyes burned brighter. "Leave." Orion's smile vanished. "I didn't come to fight. I came to save my daughter from the man fate has cursed to love her." End of Chapter 3. Coming next. Chapter 4. The Hidden Kingdom, where Luna is taken beneath Blackwood Academy into the secret underground city of the werewolves, and she must decide whether to trust the father who abandoned her or the alpha whose destiny is tied to hers. Chapter 4. The Hidden Kingdom. The classroom fell into complete silence. Luna stood between two men. One claimed to be her father. The other had spent 17 years protecting her. Both looked willing to die for her, but only one of them was telling the truth. "My father?" Luna whispered. King Orion nodded slowly, his silver eyes glistening. "I held you in my arms the day you were born. You have your mother's smile." Luna felt her chest tighten. Every part of her wanted to believe him, to believe that somewhere, somehow, she had a family. But then she noticed something strange. Professor Kael had not taken his eyes off Orion. He wasn't angry. He was afraid. "You shouldn't have come," Kael said. King Orion sighed. "I had no choice. The Shadow King knows she's awake. The barriers protecting Blackwood are collapsing. If she stays here..." He looked directly at Luna. "She'll die before the next full moon." The headmaster lowered his head. "He's right." Luna stared at them. "So, what happens now?" Kael answered immediately. "We take you underground." Without another word, the headmaster walked toward the enormous fireplace at the front of the classroom. He placed his hand against a carved stone wolf. A deep rumble echoed beneath their feet. The fireplace split in half. Behind it, a spiral staircase descended into darkness. Cold air rushed upward, carrying the scent of rain, pine, and something ancient. Luna blinked. "There's a tunnel beneath the academy?" Kael gave a faint smile. The academy was built on top of it. The group hurried down the stairs. The stone steps seemed endless. The deeper they descended, the warmer the air became. Soon, the narrow passage opened into a cavern so vast that Luna forgot to breathe. An entire city stretched beneath the mountain. Crystal rivers glowed with pale blue light. Stone bridges connected towering castles carved directly into the cave walls. Thousands of lanterns floated through the air like tiny stars. Children chased one another through the streets while enormous wolves lounged beside fountains. Market stalls sold glowing herbs, enchanted weapons, and shimmering gemstones. It wasn't a cave. It was a kingdom, hidden beneath the world of humans. Luna whispered in amazement. "This has been here. All along?" King Orion smiled. "For over 1,000 years, this is Silver Hollow, the oldest werewolf city in existence." As they walked through the streets, every conversation stopped. People turned to stare. One by one, they bowed, not to Orion, not to Kael, to Luna. An elderly woman pressed a trembling hand over her heart. "The Moon Princess," a young boy whispered excitedly. "She's real." A blacksmith dropped his hammer. "My queen." Luna stepped back. "No, I'm not anyone's queen." An old warrior smiled sadly. "You simply don't remember." As they continued through the city, Luna noticed enormous statues lining the central avenue. Each depicted a ruler crowned beneath a crescent moon. The final statue stood unfinished. Only its pedestal remained. Across the front were carved the words, "The last moon. Queen shall return when darkness rises again." Luna stopped walking. Something stirred inside her mind. A memory. A little girl laughing beneath moonlight. A woman's gentle voice. "One day this kingdom will be yours." Pain exploded behind her eyes. She cried out, clutching her temples. The world blurred. Suddenly, she wasn't standing in Silver Hollow anymore. She stood inside a magnificent palace. Moonlight streamed through stained glass windows. A beautiful woman with silver hair knelt before her. Queen Selene, her mother. "You must listen carefully, little moon." The queen placed a glowing crystal around Luna's neck. "There will come a night when you forget everything. You must survive, no matter what." The palace doors burst open. Dark creatures flooded inside. Soldiers screamed. The queen kissed Luna's forehead. "I love you." Then, a young warrior rushed into the room. His face was younger, his hair shorter, but Luna recognized him instantly. Kael. He scooped the frightened child into his arms. "I'll protect her with my life." The queen smiled through tears. "I know." A blinding flash of silver light filled the palace. Luna gasped as the vision ended. She collapsed to her knees in the middle of Silver Hollow. Kael caught her before she hit the ground. "You remembered." His voice was barely a whisper. Tears streamed down Luna's face. "It was you. You carried me. You promised my mother." Kael looked away. "I failed her." "No, you saved me." For the first time in years, Kael allowed himself to smile. It was small, almost reluctant, but genuine. Before either of them could speak again, a loud horn echoed throughout the underground city. Once, twice, 3 times. The joyful atmosphere vanished instantly. Warriors grabbed their weapons, parents rushed to gather their children. The enormous gates at the edge of the city began to close. A captain sprinted toward Orion. "Your Majesty, the southern tunnels have been breached." Orion frowned. "How many?" "Thousands." The captain swallowed hard. "Not rogues, worse." Kael's expression darkened. "The Shadow Legion." Suddenly, every crystal lantern in the city flickered. One by one, they went dark. A freezing wind swept through the cavern. From somewhere beyond the gates came a slow, steady applause. Clap, clap, clap. A voice echoed through the darkness. "So this is where you've been hiding my bride." The gates exploded inward. Stone blocks flew through the air. Dust swallowed the entrance. When it cleared, a lone figure stood in the opening. He wore black armor that seemed forged from living shadows. Long silver hair flowed behind him. His crimson eyes glowed like burning embers. He smiled as though greeting old friends. Every warrior in Silver Hollow instinctively stepped backward. Even King Orion's face hardened. Kael's hands curled into fists. "No." The stranger's gaze settled on Luna. His smile widened. "You've grown beautiful." Luna had never seen him before, yet hearing his voice filled her with an overwhelming sense of dread. "Who are you?" she asked. The man bowed elegantly. "I've had many names, the Demon King, the Lord of Shadows, the First Alpha." He straightened, his crimson eyes never leaving hers. "Behold, you may call me Lucien." He extended one hand toward her. "Come home, my Moon Queen." End of Chapter 4. Coming next, Chapter 5, The First Alpha, where Luna learns the shocking truth about Lucien, the original Alpha who was cursed centuries ago, and why he believes she has been promised to him since before she was born. Chapter 5. The First Alpha. For several long seconds, no one moved. The only sound inside Silver Hollow was the slow drip of water from the shattered gates. Lucien stood alone among the rubble. He hadn't brought an army. He didn't need one. The fear on every warrior's face told Luna everything. One man was enough. King Orion slowly unsheathed the silver sword. Its blade glowed with ancient runes. "You're not welcome here," Lucien chuckled. "Still pretending that little sword can kill me?" Kael stepped beside Orion. "Leave." Lucien tilted his head. "You've become quite protective, Kael." His crimson eyes shifted to Luna. I understand why. She's breathtaking. A low growl rumbled from Kael's chest. The ground beneath his feet cracked. Lucien laughed. Careful, if you lose control, you'll scare her. Luna finally found her voice. You know me? Lucien smiled sadly. I knew you, before you were born. The words sent a chill through the cavern. King Orion shouted, Don't listen to him. He twists every truth into a lie. Lucien sighed dramatically. Isn't that interesting? He looked at Luna. The first lesson you'll learn about kings is that they fear the truth. Without warning, Lucien raised one hand. The air shimmered. Dark mist swirled into a giant mirror between them. Inside the mirror, images appeared. A battlefield beneath a crimson moon. Thousands of wolves, witches casting fire across the sky, and at the center, a younger Lucien, not dressed in black, but in shining silver armor. He stood beside a woman wearing a crescent moon crown, Queen Selene. Luna gasped. Her mother was smiling, standing beside Lucien, holding his hand. This, Lucien said softly, is the memory they buried. King Orion's face turned pale. Destroy it. Several guards rushed forward, but their weapons passed straight through the magical image. The vision continued. Queen Selene looked at Lucien. No matter what happens, I'll always find you. Lucien kissed her forehead. I'll wait. Then, the sky tore open. Black lightning split the battlefield. A monstrous creature made entirely of shadows emerged. It was larger than a castle. Its roar shook the heavens. Lucien charged first. Queen Selene beside him. The vision froze, then vanished. Luna stared at Lucien. My mother? You loved her? I still do. But she's dead. His smile faded. I know. For the first time, there was genuine grief in his eyes. Kael stepped in front of Luna. Don't let him manipulate you. Lucien's expression hardened. Manipulate? He looked directly at Kael. Tell her. Kael remained silent. Lucien's voice echoed through the cavern. Tell her who killed her mother. Still, Kael said nothing. Luna looked between them. What is he talking about? King Orion closed his eyes. Enough. Lucien laughed bitterly. You still can't admit it. Fine, I'll tell her myself. He snapped his fingers. Another vision appeared. This one was different. The royal palace. Flames consumed every hallway. Soldiers fought desperately. Queen Selene held baby Luna close to her chest. King Orion stood nearby. Then, an explosion shook the palace. A wall collapsed. The ceiling began to fall. Queen Selene handed Luna to Kael. Run. Kael obeyed. He disappeared through a hidden passage. Queen Selene turned back, toward Orion. Suddenly, a masked assassin emerged behind the king. The blade wasn't aimed at him. It was aimed at Selene. Orion saw it. He reached for her. Too late. The sword pierced her heart. Luna screamed as the vision vanished. Tears streamed down her face. My mother. King Orion dropped to one knee. I tried to save her. Lucien's voice became ice. You failed. Silence filled Silver Hollow. Luna's heart ached. She remembered her mother's smile, her warmth, the promise she'd made, everything she'd lost. Kael gently placed a hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry. She looked at him. You knew? I remembered every second, and you never told me. It wasn't my secret to tell. She turned away. For the first time, she wasn't sure whom to trust. Lucien watched quietly. Then he spoke again. There is one truth. None of them have told you. He slowly removed one black glove. Ancient silver markings covered his arm. The exact same markings glowed on Luna's wrist. Her moon mark suddenly flared with brilliant light. Pain shot through her body. She cried out. Kael rushed toward her, but an invisible force threw him backward. The glowing symbols spread farther across Luna's arm. Lucien held out his marked hand. The symbols answered, like two halves of the same magic. Everyone stared in horror. King Orion whispered, "No, it can't be." Lucien smiled. "It can." He looked at Luna. The moon mark did choose an alpha. He glanced at Kael, but not him. The cavern erupted into panicked whispers. Kael slowly stood, disbelief written across his face. Lucien's voice was calm. "The bond between you and Kael is real, but it is incomplete." He stepped closer. "The original bond belongs to me." Luna felt her heart pounding wildly. "What does that mean?" Lucien answered with quiet certainty. "It means your destiny was written 1,000 years ago. You were never meant to become Kael's mate. You were always meant to become my queen." Before anyone could react, the moon mark blazed brighter than ever. A burst of silver light exploded through Silver Hollow. The shockwave knocked everyone to the ground. When the light faded, Luna was gone. Only a trail of silver petals drifted through the air. Kael looked around frantically. "Luna!" No answer. Lucien stared at the empty space where she had stood. For the first time, his confident smile disappeared. Because he hadn't taken her, something else had. Deep beneath Silver Hollow, in a forgotten chamber sealed for 1,000 years, Luna slowly opened her eyes. She wasn't alone. A woman's voice echoed through the darkness. "Welcome home, my daughter." A figure stepped from the shadows. Not a ghost, not an illusion. Queen Selene, alive. End of Chapter 5. Coming next, Chapter 6, The Moon Queen's Secret, where Luna discovers that her mother may have survived the massacre, but she has been trapped for 19 years inside an ancient magical prison, and the shocking truth about Luna's true destiny will change everything. Chapter 6. The Moon Queen's Secret. Luna slowly opened her eyes. Everything around her shimmered with silver light. She lay on a floor of polished white crystal, its surface reflecting thousands of tiny stars beneath her feet. There were no walls, no ceiling, only an endless sky filled with glowing moons of every size. For a long moment, she wondered if she had died. Then she heard footsteps, soft, graceful, familiar. "My little moon." Luna's heart stopped. The woman standing before her looked exactly as she had in the memories. Long silver hair flowed like liquid moonlight. Her pale blue eyes held warmth and sorrow in equal measure. She wore a white gown embroidered with glowing constellations. A crescent crown rested gently upon her brow. "Mother." The word escaped Luna's lips before she could stop it. Queen Selene smiled. "I've waited 19 years to hear you say that again." Luna ran toward her without thinking. She wrapped her arms around her mother, expecting to feel warmth. Instead, her arms passed straight through. She stumbled forward, confused. "What?" Selene's smile trembled. "I'm sorry. I'm only a soul. I've been trapped inside the moon sanctuary since the night our kingdom fell." Tears filled Luna's eyes. "So, you're really gone?" Selene nodded slowly. "My body died, but my spirit remained. I stayed because of you." Luna fell to her knees. "I thought everyone abandoned me." Selene knelt beside her. "You were never abandoned. We hid you. There is a difference." She gently touched Luna's forehead. Although her hand was transparent, Luna felt a comforting warmth. "The night our palace was attacked, I made a choice. I sacrificed my life to hide yours." The silver sky above them rippled like water. Scenes from the past unfolded all around them. Luna watched herself as a baby sleeping peacefully in a golden cradle. She watched Queen Selene laugh as she held her. King Orion kissed the baby's forehead. Nearby stood Kael, not as a professor, not even as an alpha, just a young warrior in battered armor. He looked no older than 25. Celine smiled at him. "Will you protect her?" Kael knelt immediately. "With my life." "Even if she forgets me?" "Yes." "Even if she hates you?" Kael lowered his head. "I will never stop protecting her." Luna covered her mouth. "He never broke his promise." Celine smiled proudly. "No, he gave up everything for you." The vision changed. Darkness covered the palace. Soldiers screamed. Flames consumed the royal halls. A man wrapped in black robes stood before Celine. His face remained hidden. "You cannot stop destiny," the stranger said. "The child must die." Celine raised her hand. Moonlight exploded through the palace. "I would rather destroy my kingdom than lose my daughter." The world shattered into white light. The vision disappeared. Luna's breathing was uneven. Who was that man? Celine's expression became serious. "Not Lucien." Luna blinked. "What?" "Lucien did not destroy our kingdom. He tried to save it." Luna stared at her mother. "But everyone says—" "Everyone remembers only half the truth." Celine stood. Lucien was once the greatest protector our world had ever known. He loved peace more than power. So what changed? Celine looked toward the endless silver sky. Fear. The kings feared his strength. The witches feared his immortality. The council feared they could never control him. So they betrayed him. A new vision appeared. Luna watched as Lucien stood before hundreds of rulers. His sword lay on the ground. His hands were raised in surrender. "I don't want your throne," he said. "I only want peace." One ruler stepped forward, then another. Without warning, a silver spear pierced Lucien's chest, then another, then another. Dozens of enchanted weapons struck him from every side. Lucien never fought back. He simply looked at the people he had trusted. The final spear belonged to someone Luna recognized. King Orion. Luna gasped. "No!" Celine closed her eyes. "We believed killing him would end the prophecy. We were wrong." The vision faded. Luna backed away. "My father helped kill him?" "Yes, but he believed he was saving everyone." Luna's thoughts spun wildly. "Then, who is the real enemy?" Celine's voice became barely audible. "The Shadow King, the creature you saw on the battlefield. It was never destroyed. It has been sleeping beneath Blackwood, feeding on hatred. The more we fought each other, the stronger it became." A deep rumble shook the sanctuary. Cracks spread across the crystal floor. Celine looked upward. "It has found you." Black smoke seeped through the ceiling like ink in water. The temperature dropped instantly. A terrifying roar echoed